Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about linear equations from a table, or writing linear equations from a table. Okay, so the table below shows the temperature of a fish tank during an experiment. Write the equation for this relationship in slope-intercept form. So let's see. The temperature, let's look at what's happening here. As the hours increase, the temperature also, it looks like it's decreasing, right? So the input and output variables are going to be the independent and dependent. So our input is going to be time. This is our x. And our output, our dependent, is going to be the temperature. So the temperature depends on the time. Okay. Now, it's a little disturbing to think that there's a little fish in this tank, because if the temperature is decreasing, hopefully the fish aren't dying. But anyhow, so we've identified our input. Our input is going to be the time, and our output is going to be, our output, which is our y, is going to be the temperature. Okay, use two coordinates to find the slope. Okay, it doesn't matter which two. Let's just use this one and this one, sure. So remember, our slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that's going to be, let's say, leave this to be 80 minus 76 and 1 minus 3. Notice if I'm going from this one first, then to this one, then I have to do it the same order for the next one, okay? Even if the denominator generates a negative number, and that's okay, but I just have to do, if this was my first point and this is my second point, then I need to take the x value in the same order in which I took the y values. Okay, so we have 4, and then 1 minus 3 is negative 2. So 4 divided by negative 2 is negative 2. So what does that mean? Okay, so that it looks like it's negative 2 degrees per hour. Okay, if I were to interpret that. Or if I were to interpret that, actually, it would be losing 2 degrees Fahrenheit per hour. Okay. Use the two coordinates to find a slope. So use a slope in one coordinate to find the y-intercept. Actually, I don't even need to do step 3 because I have the y-intercept right here. My y-intercept is 82. My initial temperature was 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so before we started this experiment, it was 82 degrees Fahrenheit. So write the equation. Y is equal to negative 2x plus 82. So this makes sense in terms of the negative 2 is losing temperatures, because if I put a whole number in here for hours, or even if I put a positive integer in here for hours, I'd multiply it by a negative number to get a negative, and when I add it to 82, it's going to decrease the value of 82. Okay, so that's my equation right there. Okay, next situation. Whoops. Next situation. Writing linear equations from a table. Okay, so let's see. Elizabeth's cell phone plan lets her choose how many minutes are included each month. The table shows the plan's monthly cost y. Okay, that's going to be important. The monthly cost y for a given number of included minutes. So the minutes are x. Okay. Write an equation in slope-intercept form to represent the situation. So input has already been given to us. Input is minutes. And output is going to be cost, as it so often is, right? Use two coordinates to find the slope. Sure, let's just use a couple coordinates here. All right. So slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Let's say that this is 0.2 and 0.1, so we'll go 32 minus 20 over 400 minus 200. Okay, so that's going to be 8 over 200, which is going to be, let's see, divided by 2 is 4 over 100, which is 1 over 25. Okay, so does that make sense to us? So this is $1 per every 25 minutes. Okay, that makes sense. So $1 for every 25 minutes. Okay, Use the slope in one coordinate to find the y-intercept. Now let's see if we can't down by 6, down by 6. Yeah, see here in the table, it's a decrease of 6 every time. But if I keep decreasing by 6, I'm never going to really get to 0. So you can do some tricky thing with the table, or you can just use method 2, which is pick a point out. Let's just pick a 4/100 and use the slope, which is 1/25th, to find the y-intercept b. So I'm going to put the y value, so y equals mx plus b. This is what I'm doing. I am putting in, these are what I'm putting in. I have the y and I have the x. Those are right here, right? Or maybe I should use different highlights for them. Okay, so I have the y and I have the x. Okay, there's my x value and here's my y value. Okay, and then I have my m, which is right here, 1/25. So what I'm trying to get is this b right here. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's put the x, 14 is equal to, let's see, 1/25th times 100 plus b. Well, 100 times 1/25 is going to be 100/25. And that's just going to reduce to 4. So let me just sort of cut this off here. So 14 is equal to 4 plus b, subtract b, or subtract 4 from both sides, b is going to be equal to 10. So that's like your monthly cost before you start paying for the per minute cost. Okay, so we have, y is equal to your m, which is 1/25, x plus $10. Okay, and there's your equation, where x is equal to minutes and y is equal to total cost. All right? Okay, and that was our last problem for today. So all we were doing is just trying to find, writing a linear equation from a table and writing a linear equation from another table. All right, so we did 2 problems about the same thing. Remember that whenever you get slope, just try to interpret it in terms of the problem that you have so that it makes sense to you. It's as an extra check on what you're doing. All right, and that's the end of the lesson for today.